Hello and welcome to UK Fitness Hub. My name's Travis Tarrant, and in today's video we're going to be looking at some exercises that we can do to start strengthening up and toning the inner thigh muscles. Let's get into it. So when we're talking about the inner thighs, we're talking predominantly about 5 muscles. We're talking about the gracilis, the pectineus, the adductor magnus, longus and brevis. And all the exercises coming up work all of those muscles. I'll do a separate video more on the anatomy and physiology of those muscles. However, in today's video, it's all about trying to show you some options about exercises that you can add into your workouts and maybe exercises that you haven't seen before. I've tried to put them into ability, so I've started off with the beginner exercises first and then more of the advanced exercises later on. So regardless of your ability or fitness, hopefully there's something you can take out of the video and an exercise that you like. Let's get into the exercises. The first exercise of the 8 we're going to look at is side lying adductions. Start off laying down on your side with your body straight and then place your top leg and hand out in front of your body to help stabilize you. Engage your core and glutes, then begin to raise your leg closest to the floor, trying to ensure you keep a straight leg and ankle as you do so. You can also do a variation of this exercise where your top leg is behind your body. Choose whatever feels most comfortable for you and repeat for the desired repetitions. If you decide this exercise is too easy, you can up the difficulty of the exercise by introducing ankle weights. Next up, you're going to start off lying on your back with your knees bent and feet in contact with the floor. I'm using a 45cm yoga ball here, but you can use a football, rugby ball, or even a firm cushion to the same effect. Whatever you choose, place it in between your thighs and begin to contract into the object. Here I'm contracting for 5 seconds, pausing, then contracting again for a further 5 seconds. You can do repetitions like this, where you relax and contract, or do harder variations like shown here, where I'm in a squat position, but this time the difference is I'm squeezing into the ball throughout the duration of the exercise. Whatever variation you choose, you should feel it pretty quickly in the inner thighs. Exercise number 3 is resistance band adductions. Loop the resistance band around a secure fixed object and place the band around your ankle. Step away from the resistance band until you start to feel tension on the band. Now start to bring the leg in towards your body. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible as you do this. The resistance will be highest at the point where your legs are together. If you find this too difficult, feel free to place your hand on something for support or stand closer to the resistance band to take off some resistance. A classic exercise for the inner thighs is sumo squats. The difference between a sumo squat and a regular squat is all down to foot position. My feet here are much wider than shoulder width apart, which puts more emphasis on my inner thighs as I squat down. Dancers will often modify this exercise slightly and call it a plie squat. Start off with your feet wider than shoulder width apart and your toes pointed out slightly. Lower slowly as far as is comfortable, keeping a straight back and tight core as you do so. Pause for a split second at the bottom and return back to your starting position. You can use a dumbbell or a kettlebell to make this exercise harder. Some people prefer holding the weight in a lower position with their arms extended, whilst other people prefer holding a close grip position at the chest. Choose whatever feels most comfortable for you. The progression of sumo squats are sumo squat pulses. Take all the principles of your sumo squat, but this time you're going to go to the bottom of your squat, rise an inch or two up, and then lower back down into the squat. Sumo squats keep constant tension on the inner thighs and therefore are more challenging. I find it's better to use a timed target rather than going for a certain amount of repetitions. This is because people tend, as they get tired, to speed up the repetitions. Remember to keep a straight back, try to avoid placing your hands on your knees and keep a tight core. For your next exercise, keep your feet in the same position and start in a high squat hold. This time you're going to touch your hand to your opposite foot. So for example, your left hand's going to go to touch your right foot and your right hand's going to go to touch your left foot. As you do this, keep your hips back and the weight of your body should be on your heels. As you push from side to side, you should be pushing off from your hips, so you should feel this in the glutes as well as the inner thighs. You can modify this to make it harder by going slower in pace, or alternatively, you can make it easier by standing up straight after each repetition. Next, we're going to look at a side lunge variation. Start off with your feet narrow in a high squat stance, then begin to take one leg and lunge out to the side whilst keeping your hips back as you do so. You should feel your body weight transfer onto the leg you've lunged with. Slowly then return back to the start position, which was that narrow squat hold, then repeat for the desired repetitions. This is a far harder variation than the usual side lunge due to the fact that your legs are still working hard when in that squat hold position. If you'd like to make the exercise easier, you can do a standard side lunge where you'll be returning to a standing position after each repetition. By far the hardest exercise out of this selection is adductor planks. Start off side lying with your top leg straight on a step or block. Bring your elbow underneath your shoulder and raise into a side plank. With your bottom leg, flex your hip to a 90-degree angle whilst also making a 90-degree angle at your knee. This exercise is for those with a high level of adductor strength, certainly not for beginners. Start off with your weaker side first so you feel confident that you can hold for the same duration on your stronger leg. And that concludes the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope there's some exercises in that selection that you can now cherry pick and put into your workouts. Try them all out, see what you think, see what ones best work for you and the ones that you can feel in the right area, and then proceed with those. You've been watching UK Fitness Hub. My name's Travis Tarrant. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any additional free and educational content, and like the video if you learned something new. I'll see you soon.